Ladies and gentlemen, karibuni kwa another episode of the Syntaxera podcast. I am your host, Van the Deejay Kenya. Leo niko na guest hapa hivi, Serafin kutoka Serafin TV. In the second time tuko na yeye hapa. Tunataka kuendelea na ile conversation ya last time. Tujue ni aje, au sio? So acha ni roll intro alafu tutaingia ndani ya discussion. Kabisa. So ase ndo sisi, mimi Vanu ni Serafin. For those of you who didn't watch the other episode that we did, in collaborative episode yenye half of it will be on my channel and half of it will be on our channel. So after you're done watching this, the other half you'll go and see it on our channel and I'll link in the description. Au sio? Serafin, ni aje?
Poa sana.
Kofiti?
Kabisa.
Sasa hata mimi kofiti.
Yeah, it's a pleasure being here again. I'm looking forward.
You're looking forward to this discussion. Sasa.
Yeah.
Off camera tulikuwa tunaongea juu ya a couple of things. One of which nilikuwa nakwambia there is nothing negative or toxic about masculinity. Your statement imefanya ukagoogle.
Nimegoogle. Actually hata niko na.
So from your side, what do you think?
I had to be sure.
Ni nini unasema like ni negative about masculinity? Kwa sababu mimi naweza kuwa sure there's nothing toxic about masculinity.
Well, there is masculinity, right? And then there is negativity in that masculinity. Okay, there are signs, there are elements of masculinity that are toxic. You get? Do you agree on that? No.
Kama sindo nauliza kama gani?
Mingi. Well, entitlement.
Entitlement.
Okay. Aggressiveness from men, suppressing emotions. In fact, you are the same person who was saying last time that you are encouraging boy child to express.
Uh-huh.
And you know, now that's what I'm saying, that which you are teaching them to learn, to unlearn, to suppress their emotions, that is
toxic.
That's toxic.
No.
Suppressing their emotions, being aggressive, being having entitlement like to sex.
Yeah.
Like ukiwa na mdem, having sex is your right.
Yeah.
Like if she's coming over, she's visiting you in your crib, you have to. Like if she doesn't, you are very offended. And you see, at the end of the day, those toxic masculinity works against so many, even romantic relationships. It affects even families anyway.
So let me tell you something. Apo, it's either like meaning ya get meaning ya masculinity. Kwa sababu vitu zenye una mention, they happen to people who are not in tune with their masculine energy.
Really?
Yeah.
How do we differentiate?
So, the same way.
But it is
kuna femininity. Hiyo ndo opposite ya masculinity. See feminism actually.
No. This is toxic. That's masculinity for me.
No, I'm just telling you.
It's manly.
I'm just telling you. For people who are in tune with their masculinity, those things don't happen. Huko entitled. You understand emotions. See vitu za kukua suppressed. Like hizi ni vitu zenye masculinity za ufunza wase.
You know, you're actually contradicting yourself.
Well, how?
From our previous conversation,
yes.
you remember?
Yeah.
You are forcing me
to
accept that men are denied the privilege to express themselves. Now, today you are telling me those who do that, and I was telling you the same, that only happens to people who are, it's called what? Self-awareness. Those who are not aware of themselves. Yeah. Which you are now agreeing on it. I'm glad you are now agreeing.
What I'm saying is, unaona vitu zenye we mentioned.
Yes.
Like entitlement to sex, aggression. Hizo ni vitu zenye they are not part of masculinity.
Toxic.
It happens.
Toxic.
No.
Those are symptoms. Symptoms. See, actually, the word is symptoms.
See, what we can't understand. I'm saying, you see those things you're mentioning, they happen to people who are not in tune with their masculinity. So there is no way we can call it masculinity. Does that make sense?
I'm still not there. Please convince me. Or you find more words. Bring it well.
Now, bado tuniko kwa the same idea.
Yes.
Like masculinity is just masculinity. There's nothing positive. Like most of it is good. Shanipata? Yeah. So, when you're not in tune with masculinity, with your own masculinity as a man, ndo hizo vitu zenye una mention huwa zina happen.
Thank God. No, I'm fine. At that point, I'm fine that you agree that they happen. It doesn't matter. You don't know yourself. You don't agree with yourself, but it happens.
If you're not in tune with your masculinity, yeah.
No, I have no problem with wherever.
Exactly.
But that it happens.
So if you're not in tune with your masculinity, how can we call that masculinity?
Toxic. We are not going to look for a word to define what you're talking about.
So
how do you want us to call it?
I don't know. But see.
That's vague.
It's not masculine. What do you mean?
You don't want us to call her what do we know?
See masculinity.
And you don't have
See masculinity.
Toxic.
Because
add toxic. It's not masculinity. It is toxic masculinity. That which you don't want to call it. That's the name. Don't call it another name.
Let me tell you something, First of all, according to vile unaongea niko sure like hauja spend time kuona masculinity na entail nini.
What do you mean? I don't need to spend time like it's
you can't
should I say I've experienced? What do you mean?
Yeah.
So you want me to bring a scenario? How do I express it? So
thing.
that you realize that I know what I'm talking about.
No, here's the thing. Nimekwambia hizo vitu zenye unasema zina happen kwa wase wenye hawako in tune na masculinity yao. Ndio kwa maana hatuwezi ita masculinity because they're not in tune with their masculinity. Do you get me now?
No, you are not forcing me just to think you are lying. I think we wouldn't agree on that.
I'm not forcing you. I want you to understand.
Now, I have no problem listening to you, but so long as you give me a name to that which you are calling now. If I don't call it toxic masculinity, how do I call it? Then we will move. I'll be fine.
I'm telling you that's behavior of
that's
people
just a behavior.
who are not in tune with their masculinity.
That's how we call it.
Yeah. Sindio. Ama.
No.
Hey, because now you're putting all that iyo sasa, and then that's what's taken and it's generalized as what men do. It's not. And kwa the same breath, bado kuna mademu wenye hawako in tune na femininity yao, and we know the things they do.
Like.
Nataka tuanze hiyo topic sahi.
No, but you just said you just said I'm imagining. So may I hear you from your end? I think it's important.
There's a couple of things. Kwanza si unajua
Give me three.
Unajua what femininity entails, ndio?
No, please, because you've started. Tell me what it entails, then how you want to define it
now
being toxic. Because I've told you what I expected from men and why I'm defining it toxic, which you are refusing to accept that it's a reality.
No, actually, unajua hatuwezi.
No, you are trying to push it. Of course, I think it should be clear also that when you're talking of toxic masculinity, it's not across like everyone. No, it's to specific individuals. So that yes. Having said that, I would partly agree with what you're saying. That what causes them to behave that way, right? So that's what draws the line of just masculinity and then toxic. So whatever causes them to be that way, that's story for another day. So when you talk of feminism and feminine and toxicity, yes, I will still be open to listen to it. I'm not ruling it out. Actually, I'm giving you an audience on this platform. And I know everyone else would want to hear about it. Please.
Mimi sijui, like Mimi, I'm a boy. So I know more about masculinity than I do femininity. But kuna zile like spirit ya kunacha na care na vitu kama hizo. I think ndio ziko hapo juu. But like tukiangalia tu behaviors, unaweza tell function from dysfunction. So like from hizo vitu zenye generally ziko expected from a lady who's in tune with her femininity. Kama hakuna, we can see.
For example, I've told you, mention 3.
Koniowski.
Just 3. No, it's not obvious. It's not obvious. Like, no, amesema nurturing hiyo ni positive. Sasa ebu atuambie hiyo toxic. Nataka kusikia hiyo ingine yenye hasemi. It's not obvious that you assume if you're not nurturing because
I'm just saying,
there could be other conditions.
I'm just saying, if we know what it's supposed to be, yes? So we can clearly tell what it's not supposed to be.
No, you don't assume. Let me tell you why. Like the nurturing element, if someone is not obvious that is toxic because there are other underlying issues that could be the cause. Like if you talk about postpartum depression, you see when someone is suffering of that kind of mental illness, it's so easy that will showcase the other side, the opposite of what is expected. So we don't assume. That's why I want you to mention a few so that I think it will give us.
I'm not assuming. Nasema tu. Since we know function, right? We can clearly see where there's dysfunction.
But okay, I have no problem. I won't argue so much. Like I'm not defending.
For femininity, where actually when unafaa kuona tuambia vitu mo. Because me I don't know.
And that's where I'm going to. That's where I was headed to. Like I'm not here to defend. It is a reality. Only if you would also calm down, shuka kwa mti, kwa Zakayo, shuka kwa mti, and then accept that there is toxic masculinity. And like being on the defensive of telling us those, so you see, you are ending our conversation. We can't just proceed at that point. You are like putting a stopper.
How?
Hakuna story ka hiyo kitu hai-exist. Huyo ni msetu wako na problem yake. That's why hatutaongelelea.
This is just me.
Yes, that's true. And that's what, no, you expect me to go on feminism. I'm not. I'm also not a negative one. But quickly, I could highlight a few that me I know. It's true that we have feminine, is it masculinity or toxic?
No.
How do you want to call it?
Like there's a couple of words for it actually.
Yeah.
Kuna what's it called? There's ladies who project feminine wounded behavior. Yeah? No?
I'm listening.
Yes, that's it. You're
feminine wounded
behaviors.
You see, feminine wounded behaviors, you're like the people who are working from traumas. Right? Yeah, because when you're talking of feminine wounded behavior, they're working from known to unknown. There are people with the past, with the experiences, with the life traumas. And just as I mentioned earlier, that if you are not keen enough, you don't just jump into conclusion from what you observe from outside.
Yes.
Because some are too much wounded that they're actually sick. They're sick. So if you happen to come across that kind of a woman on your path, you need to come from a passionate angle. Don't come aggressively because you could just trigger.
Here's the thing, Unaona, whether you're wounded or not, after a while, it starts becoming your responsibility. I think
but you know we are different. Depending on how you deal with it. Yeah, we are already different.
I know. We are going to deal with it differently, but I'm just telling you, after a while, it starts becoming your responsibility, regardless of what happened to you.
Well, I know most common things that guys do suffer when they get involved with women coming from wounded what past? You said coming from wounded past experience or something.
No, like wanna they portray feminine wounded behaviors.
Oh yeah, they portray feminine wounded behaviors. Yeah. So if you come across, you get involved with that kind of species of a woman, common ones if they have had a previous relationship and they were frustrated. So she's walking into this new one who is you with a mindset, with an already formed opinion. So you're actually a victim of circumstance. You are just paying what the other guy did.
Yes, that's what I'm calling feminine wounded behaviors. Nah, guys, mkiwa go nje, red flag hazitaningi green.
No, you see, maybe I'll tell you why.
They don't.
Come on, why women feel that way? Unaambiwanga wanaume wote ni dogi. Sorry, nothing personal. I'm saying what they say. Yeah,
it's cool. Yeah, I don't mind because it's an opinion.
And when you are
which is not factual. Because first of all, you can't generalize.
It isn't true. So actually, when you find people who are now in a cool relationship, when your relationship is cool, when someone makes such a statement, actually, ladies fight. Like huyo wako ndiye alikuwa dogi.
Yeah.
And why even trying all the dogs around anyway? So that you ujue
water. Yeah.
So like it is a weakness. I would admit it's a weakness. But just as you've said, we need to take responsibility of our wounds. I think that way will reduce the damage.
Imagine like any trait moja ya feminine wounded behavior. They get a son and now they're training the son to be the dude they didn't have instead of letting the child be who they're supposed to be. Makes sense.
Not only the son, children. It's common with almost all parents. Actually, it's a statistic that was done. That most parents, we push on our kids what we ever wanted to be in life. We want our kids to be. Now that having it doesn't negative or positive. It could be both.
Yeah, but then imagine, I'm talking about the emotional side.
It's unfortunate. It's so unfortunate.
It's so unfortunate. It
is unfortunate anyway. So, does this affect you as a boy being brought up, or you talking as a young man or a dad? What would you feel like? What would you tell ladies that hurts you?
Mimi kile inanikatia kwa sababu sisi ndo tulikuwa hawase. I don't know if you can remember, like back in the day, not victims. Like we were supposed to be the generation that comes out and rescues everything.
I get you.
Like it is us. But then we are doing the same things.
And even worse.
Yeah, that were done. Na tuna raise watoi wako na trauma. Angalia Father's Day bado mamams wanajiwish happy Father's Day.
In fact I think you know why they wish themselves I'll just it's an in thing now. It's trending, the baby daddy thing. Can I bring that to justify? I'm not justifying actually, but to bring the element of why it's so easy from a wounded person to impose it to the kid. Of course, unknowingly. You see, it's an emotion, just as we are saying. Sometimes it's not very intentional. They don't sit down and plan it. Mse amehurt. So anapata mtoi, you frustrated her. Mukapata mtoi, bad luck, anakuwa boy. Bad. Like to mean bad in bracket. I'm not saying like bad to be born a boy. So to a woman being born a boy, they feel like it's just born you.
Okay.
They see you so much in that kid than just any other. If it were a girl, she would own it. She would be like atanifanana mimi akweka mimi. So tayari your hatred and everything's about that kid. So anatrainu mtoto kukua tough yenye, now that's what you're talking of, toxicity. Hata mfundisha like kukua the opposite of the dad, like what the dad did. The woman should be encouraging the kid to be opposite, so that to be a gentleman, a nice person. Na anafundishwa kukua mtough sasa. Like hii dunia si power, like no one cares about you. So you see, so that kind of a boy, I'm talking of that boy mwenye amelelewa na mama with that kind of bitterness from that orientation. That boy, there is no way. Unataka kuniambia tutakaa chini, now ndio ina create hiyo effect. You remember what you're talking about? The alignment. Kitambo anajaribu akona conflict na emotion na society na reality. Huyo mse ana struggle na kila kitu. That's a struggling person. So he's already born a struggling boy. Baada ataenda kupatana na dem mwingine mwenye ako hurt kama mama yake. You see why the cycle cannot even end instant. So we need to preach the gospel and be realistic. It starts from each individual's decision. It's a choice that you make. I want to end this. We may not end it easily, but it's a cycle. It's a rotation.
It was supposed to be us. Like sisi ndo tulikuwa tunafaa kuwa wase.
Sasa ndio inakwambia tunafaa kuwa wase na mmesha kuwa ma deadbeats.
Who?
Mmesha
nyinyi wenyewe. Usisema hivyo. Usisema hivyo.
But it's true. You see, it is so easy when a person who was hurt that way to walk out into a relationship, to hurt a woman, hawananga hata feeling, hawako sorry. Unaelewa? Hawako sorry. There is no humanity in them. Actually, hakuna mambo ata gentleman. We don't need even gentleman. We just need the human in that person. Ni kama amesafa, umsa amesafa, mpaka hakuna kitu inamshtuanga. The mom brought that guy that way of, no one cares about you. It is about you. So people, this generation, ni ile group ina growing kivyake, like anafight ya space yake peke yake. They're so egocentric. So hakuna venye huyo mtu so hakuna venye it will be so hard. I'm trying to tell you it is a challenge to end. We were supposed to, and then you realize sisi wenyewe ndio problem. So who is supposed to end this? Na ndio inatusukuma sasa kwa our old school again. You see our parents now are doing so many seminars kwa makanisa, creating boy child sessions, ati tuongeleshe hii generation, where did we go wrong? I still agree that they went wrong.
Are they asking themselves why they went wrong?
They do.
Yes, when you listen.
They do. Please tell them. In fact, I'll be happy them to hear where they went. They want to know where they went wrong. You see, like currently, saitu kumelipuka, like it's burning everywhere. Kama nime naona hivyo, the church. In fact, someone ever said the worst place yenye watu wanaumia sahi ni church. Because mnaingia hiyo kanisa, you are supposed it's a lot of hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Your dad ndio chairman, ndio elder wa kanisa. You know, you are inside kwa hao vitu mnaona ni different, like vitu kwa ground for real. They are fighting. Your mom throws words across. Your dad is showing this masculinity toxic around. It's so shouting on your mom. Alafu church ni ule baba anafaa kwa role model. So kids, you are now forced to play along.
Okay.
Itakaaje na wewe ni mtoto wa pastor. Na baba
yako ni elder. Explainia mbona mamdemo on a Jewish Happy Father's Day.
Oh, now, yes. How did I even forget? I was at the point of, you are a deadbeat. You disappeared. You know how they put it? That I'm wishing myself a mom who plays both roles.
You can't.
Of dad and mom.
Hata ujisikie. You can't.
We know it can, but we reduce it. You remember when the last time I told you, we reduce parenting to some levels. Like someone assumes paying school fees, buying food, providing shelter, that's parenting. Ukwela mawongo.
That's not parenting.
No, but are you getting that the society is set in a way men are supposed to be providers, not society, but that's the truth. Men was naturally born to be providers.
Away from that, you see, there's a difference between
self-love,
raising a child.
Self-love. Sisi kujuishia Happy Father's Day.
No, I'm just telling you, there's a difference between providing for the child and raising a child.
Absolutely.
Those are two different things.
I agree with you.
So you can't say that because tunalipia mtoi fees and so Happy Father's Day to me. It doesn't make sense.
Now, you see, social media, people hype everything. Because Happy Father's Day and Mother's Day, unaisikianga kwa village.
No, but
have you ever been to rural la usikia wakisema?
I think most of hizi vitu zenye wase wanasema personalities. Mi ukuanga hivyo. Everyone's is dictated by the trauma they went through as children.
Absolutely. I agree.
So kama si tunajua hivyo, mbona tu raise watoto wengine na trauma?
Sasa nimekwambia tu, we are moving from circle to circles. Society yenye haijapona ni wagonjwa wanaendeleza ugonjwa. You see, not all of us got a chance to heal.
Yeah.
Actually, some are not even aware, ignorant. You know, they are not even aware they are unwell.
Pole.
Sorry. In fact, kuna wenye ukiwaambia you need help and I take it personal. Like you need
that's wounded behavior.
Thank you. But now we are saying at what levels, how jiulize to like challenge yourself. Like what you're doing already, you're creating awareness. In your littlest way, try people around you, your circles. That's why I'm talking about the church. You know, we are looking for platforms where you can gather as many people as possible. And this is one of them, the avenues of reaching people. We need to preach the gospel. Many of us, hizi wanauliza ati tulienda wapi wrong. Wanauliza nani? You just ask. Who do they ask? Me, I'm glad. Now, because you have this, me, I will give them. Now, I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
I want you to tell us here. I will tell them. I'll take them the answers. Because I know where to find them.
So, here, that's one,
Yes.
You cannot confuse providing for the child and raising the child.
True.
Biologically, to raise a child, you need the parental intuition of a man and a woman.
True.
It doesn't have to be the actual dad. It doesn't have to be the actual mom. but to raise a child who's physically, spiritually and emotionally balanced, unahitaji a man and a woman.
Absolutely.
So when mi nikiingia online Father's Day napata moms are wishing themselves happy Father's Day, I am crying for the child kwa sababu najua anaenda ku experience trauma. Shanipata?
Ashakuwa traumatized. Wacha anaenda ku experience.
Like ninajua.
Yeah.
Shanipata? So that's one. Two, ni sewa walitupeana buda. How comes like sisi tuliachwa na Bible alafu walami wako na gold na silver uko juu. If you want to know where we went wrong, shanipata? Kwa culture yetu ya Africa hakukuwa na beggars, hakukuwa na street children, hakukuwa na hizo vitu. Kwa culture yetu ya Africa hakukuwa na hizo vitu. Alafu ukiangalia tena sijui mimi na feel hivi it's only in the black families ndio the position of the man is threatened. It's only in the black families. Ukiangalia white families, they know the dad is the head of the house. But Asians, Hispanics wanajua. But sasa patana na black independent women.
In fact, I'm looking at you. You know, I'm looking at you, I'm like, thank God it's a man saying.
Yeah.
Because if
saying.
I said it, you see now what you are saying of being toxic.
Yeah.
Why are they threatened? In fact, they are the threat.
No.
They disappeared.
Let
me tell you why. No. It's you now. It's your time to listen.
Let me listen.
Why they are threatened? They're threatened because women are taking over, not taking over on any other thing. We are talking about parenting, right? The responsibility, we just talked of raising and providing. And it is expected. Men were supposed to be the head. Head meaning what? Head above on everything. Like take the lead, the leadership, the responsibility. So akiamuka asubuhi yako keroro. Who is taking the leadership? Is in the woman justified? No, is in the woman justified to take over? Because these kids are looking, they want to be nurtured. You need to provide. They need a role model. Men stopped. Few, of course, very few. But majority, the current society, you are hitting your woman before your kids. You still command to be the head. You don't have to prove you don't have to prove your leadership or when you are aggressive. You can still lovingly, passionately prove your leadership. Actually, that is more powerful.
Let me tell you something, unaona hii kitu yenye mnaita feminism? That was built to
destroy men.
Not men. You can't destroy men.
Inatupea kiburi.
It's not even
someone
that.
Someone ever said that.
It's not even that. Here's the thing, there's a lady called Shahrazad Ali. Back in 1970s. Imagine 1970s. Like alisema, hii movement ya feminism, it sounds good, but it's actually going to destroy a lot of ladies. Because you're told you can be independent and it sounds really nice. But then you're not told the other options. It's ati ukitoka from being independent, where are you going to? Shanipata?
You're supposed to go somewhere.
Yeah.
After being independent?
No, not after being independent. See,
like
you're talking independence, you're taught that you can do it without men. Yeah.
Who preached that?
We're only feminists online. You don't see those things.
Uliona mugani you're online. You don't just pick one and assume, by the way.
That's the thing. Ndio kwa maana nilikuwa nakwambia kwa sababu pia you're using anecdotes to explain general statements. Haiwezi kuwa hivyo. We can't say that since these dudes fight
okay. No, and in fact I was very clear on that. I said a number, few, and I've never generalized. Okay. No, general, no. It's a bigger percentage. Na mara mingi unajua kitu mbaya huwa inaonekana kuliko kitu poa. Anyway. So on about the women, maybe I just make that, I don't want to ignore it.
Wacha nikuulize kwanza kabla tuende sana. Wewe ni feminist?
I don't know. Am I?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
No, you see, that's why unaona venye navuruta macho. I'm like, because the definition, what kind of definition does he have to be a feminist? But I am anyway. You know, I'm looking at a feminist. Yes, I am. I am.
He's a person who believes in both rights for both.
Mekuwa fresh manzee hapo. May have a couple of discussions here and there. So usisahau kulike, subscribe na hizo vitu zenye watu wa YouTube wanasemanga hizo. Fanya hapo hivyo, au sio? Mekuwa real manzee, mimi hapo Van the DJ. Guest wangu hapo Serafin na JARIC hapo behind the maswala. Au sio? Kaboom.